Sweet inspiration from the very start, and you can taste the love.
But this is way too much. No thank you. It's just chaos and just overpriced everything for no reason. I would just like to point out the parking rates here. 0 to 3 hours is free. Okay, great. Over 3 hours is $60. That's outrageous. But then I lost my one pedal driving, and we were driving in very slow traffic, so I didn't notice it at first, but my acceleration pedal stopped working completely. Like I would floor it, or like I didn't try flooring it, but like I gave it throttle and it did nothing. It was creeping forward, and I could still brake, of course. I'm just showing you the pedal, I don't know why. But it would just kind of creep. We've been hanging out here at the State of Charge garage. Tom made us a pizza. It was fantastic. Chargers, the famous wall of chargers. Well, there we have it. Thanks for hosting us, Tom.
Hey, listen, I'm so happy you're able to stop by on your long road trip.
And then you go to these other trips in 1.2 miles per kilowatt hour for all day driving. I want 500 amps, not 439.4. Thing which is promising. And you're seeing 500 amps available, 270. What the heck? Why are these stations broken? What the actual heck? That's even worse. Well, the charging station just faulted? What the actual heck? So it just stopped charging. And that was the charging I was going to use, but it's being used by a Model 3 and a RAV4. What?
Set to 64.
That sounds lovely. I would sleep so well.
No. The last charger was annoying.
Yeah, I wish we could have charged here. Yeah, that's the worst experience I've had at a Tesla charger in, I think, years.
What?
We've got our stuff. Time to head to Hershey. Well, loading up the car. Lots and lots of bugs. It's going to clean the windshield here in just a second. Let's use the lovely front trunk of the Lightning. Put this up here. It barely fits next to each other. I have to give it a little push to get to the bottom there. Just like that. And I'm using a CarPro's Clarify to preserve the coating on the windshield. And then I'll just use some paper towels to get it off. I should use a microfiber, but I don't want to soil microfiber with all the bugs that are on it. But yeah, we're still charging. I'll show you what we charged up to in just a moment. But let's get the windshield clean so that way you guys have a nice view on the road trip. Good morning from Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. What are we up to today?
We're going to Chick-fil-A and then Hershey.
And then probably Tom's State of Charge garage. Well, still coordinating that. But yeah, we're going to do Chick-fil-A, I guess, because that's what the princess wants. And then we'll go to Hershey, wander around there, and then we'll continue on. There's also a new IONNA site in Kutztown, Pennsylvania. I'm probably butchering how you pronounce that. And that's between Hershey and Tom's house. So we'll stop there. We'll charge up a bit. I'll leave some room to charge at Tom's probably, since he has so many chargers. No DC fast chargers yet, but all the AC chargers, and he has 19.2 kilowatt 80 amp charger, which my truck can take advantage of. Let me show you some stats, reset some trips, and then we will get on the road and I'll set up my navigation on Android Auto, which is very clumsy. So I just unplugged from the Grizzly there. We charged to 69% overnight. We started at, I believe, 2 or 3%. Let's reset this trip A, or trip 1, not trip A, speaking in Tesla terms here. And then this trip will also be since we left. And over here you can see we have 86.04 kilowatt hour in the pack. And let me just pull up the Ford app and I'll show you guys how much energy we added. So we'll go into charge history and True by Hilton. So there you can see we went from 3 to 69% in 11 hours, 6 minutes, adding 84 kilowatt hour. and that was for a grand total price of $3.99, which I will never complain about. I wish it was a little bit faster, but free is free. So that saved probably $30-ish in DC fast charging. So that took a dent out of the hotel cost, which does not suck. So let's get nav set up. I need to figure out my destinations and we'll get on the road. And since apparently Google Maps doesn't sync between Android, like the operating system on the phone, and Android Auto, it is very clumsy to set up your nav here. So I had to do it on the touchscreen, which like is fine, but I don't understand why I couldn't just set it up on my phone and then plug it in and have it go like I do all the time on Apple Maps. I will say I am amazed that this has multi-touch, and Apple needs to add that immediately to CarPlay, because this is so much better than the tap and drag and all that I've gotten used to, but is still very clumsy on Apple Maps and CarPlay. So here we have our stops for now. We have Chick-fil-A, which is just down the street. We'll take this little frontage road and then go there. There is a Tesla Supercharger across the street over here somewhere, but we don't need to charge. And then we'll get on the road here on 81. We'll go up to Hershey, which is up here, dip down to Hershey's Chocolate World, maybe get a chocolate bar with our faces on it.
Maybe.
And then this is the IONNA in Kutztown, and then Tom is somewhere in here-ish. Need to get his exact address, and then we'll probably go there and then maybe head up to like Albany area, Schenectady, maybe over to Connecticut. Not entirely sure what our plan is. Again, I haven't booked anything for this trip, just like we didn't book this hotel until like a few hours before. So we will figure it out as we go, but that's our plan for right now. It is 10 o'clock in the morning, so not the earliest start, not the latest start. Showing 69% to Chick-fil-A, 43%, which we'll use the level 2 at Hershey while we're there, because why not? It's free. And then we'll get to Sheetz. I don't know, I'll probably guess we'll actually get there closer to like 25-30%, depending on how long we're at Hershey. And then continue on, and we'll charge up there probably to 80%. And then to Tom's, I think it's probably like 50 miles if I had to guess. So that'll be easy to recover while we just hang out and chat for a bit. But let's start and get on the road. 4 minutes to Chick-fil-A and then 100 something to Hershey. I've got my yerba mate. Bethany will have her Chick-fil-A breakfast. I also had a Bucky beaver tail, or paddle tail as they call them now, as my breakfast.
So healthy.
Yeah. Well, it turns out in this Chick-fil-A parking lot, as we just exited the drive-thru, there are Francis Energy charging stations. So let's check these out, see what we've got going on here. This is, I don't understand why they put these signs here. That's just terrible. Like, why would you not let this be pull-through? It's pull-through other than these signs. So let me do a quick site tour here and show you guys what's up. So here we have it. It is 62 cents, or sorry, not 62, 66, even more outrageously expensive. And I'm pulling up the Tesla Supercharger down the street, 37 cents a kilowatt hour. So just for a point of comparison, there you have it. 37 cents, literally like across the street-ish, I think, or 66 cents here. And I mean, I guess if you have an 800 volt car, these will charge faster. These are 400 kilowatt technically, even though it's only a 600 kilowatt cabinet. So you'll only get 400 kilowatt if you're not sharing 4 ways. Here you can see one of the Huber and Sooner little covers is broken off just on the ground over there. Let's see if we've got some labels. These are Signet units. So 500 amp max, and these are 4 times CCS. And they've got the like little halo thing going on. Again, it's really dumb that these signs are there, because otherwise this is a perfect pull-through style site. And we're in Pennsylvania, where it's fairly rural-ish, I guess. other than on the interstate, and people would use that. There's also some dips in the concrete or in the asphalt, and just this whole area is really poorly done as far as asphalt. I think they maybe just did the cheapest option possible. There's some gravel over here. You can see the rusting lifting eyes on top. Let's just take a look, see if we can see anything else here on the pad. I did see an animal. There's like a, I don't know what that is, possum maybe? I don't know, I'm gonna keep my eyes open for animals around here. Very rusted lifting eyes. They do have cameras here, which is interesting. Let's see, labels for power. So looks like full load amps, 961 amps. There's maintenance mode and an emergency stop if needed. And here we have the data label. So this is 600 kilowatt and max 500 amps per channel. So this is just like the quick charge site that we visited in Wisconsin on my Minnesota road trip, but this only has 2 dispensers, whereas the quick charge had 4 because that had NACS and CCS on each dispenser. Let's just see. Yeah, that's a very sturdy frame to mount that on. Makes sense, I guess, but beefy. And that's that. So not a whole lot to this. Not really that nice of a site. I mean, I guess if you're at Chick-fil-A, it's a good spot, but outrageously expensive. I would just use the Tesla Supercharger down the street. I don't see any reason to pay nearly double for the pleasure of using these dispensers. Well, we made it to Hershey World, Chocolate World, I guess. There's so many people here. I had no idea how much of an attraction this was. Bethany did not warn me.
I forgot you hadn't been here. You've been a lot of places.
Yeah. This is far more of a spectacle than I expected. Anyway, we're at 44% state of charge. We've driven 67.6 miles so far today, and 517.8 miles so far since we left home. And we've got some free ChargePoint charging, so I'm going to activate one of those and plug in and get a little bit of charge while we're here.
Minus stuff.
For your safety, please remain seated with your hands and feet inside the vehicle at all times. Here are our neighbor, Hershey Chocolate Factory. Your guide will meet you at the exit. See inside.
It's the milk we make that set the heart. Sweet inspiration from the very start, and you can taste the love. Feel good feeling every day. We're making chocolate. Feel good feeling every day.
Roasting.
Hey everyone! Below me are milling machines which grind cocoa nibs into unsweetened chocolate. Cocoa nibs have been ground down like this for thousands of years. Milling machines generate lots of heat through intense pressure and friction. The grinding turns cocoa nibs into the smooth, dark liquid used to make milk and dark chocolate.
It takes 1, 2, 3, real simple things.
All with that fresh, delicious Hershey's chocolate biscuit is finally ready to eat.
Like Hershey's milk chocolate in special dog box.
Hey, don't forget about Reese's peanut butter cups. My personal favorite.
Everyone has a favorite. Mine are Hershey's Christmas chocolate.
Aw, thanks, Alex. That's so sweet.
Well, we finished at Hershey. This place is just kind of chaos. There's now a Model Y charging there. The Ioniq 5 that was next to us is now gone. And this person destroyed that wheel cover. That's impressive. So let's unplug. Let's see how much we added. There's a bug. I don't want it on me. We added 6 kilowatt hours, so can't complain about free energy. We are up to, let's see. Let's see what we're up to. Once this loads, 48% state of charge, so I think we got here with 44%, so we added 4% for free while we were here, so no complaints about that. Bethany, what did you think of Hershey? You've been here before.
Been here multiple times, so it doesn't seem to change too much between times, even though it's been probably close to a decade since I've last been here, but everything's about the same. I mean, outside of the new latest and greatest Hershey candies that have developed.
I was not a fan. This is way too commercialized. This is like one of those little M&M World stores that like I can handle as a store, but this is way too much. No thank you. It's just chaos and just overpriced everything for no reason. Not a fan. Like, I guess kids would like it maybe, but it's sensory overload and it's just all overpriced, so I have no interest in that.
The free tour is definitely aimed at children, not as much adults.
I thought I was signing up for an educational, like, real tour of something, not a Disneyland, Tomorrowland kind of like fake display with video screens all over the place.
I don't even think you knew what the tour was before we got here.
You got me at free and on the way.
You suggested Hershey.
I mean, I didn't know what I was signing up for. I did no research. When you told me it was free, I was like, okay, let's at least stop. It's mostly on the way.
It's a good place to bring, like, kids.
I guess.
But, yeah, as adults, it's a little bit... I mean, it's chocolate that you can get elsewhere.
Anywhere? Okay.
But
Well, we're gonna
worth
head.
the stop.
Yeah, I mean, if you're passing through, I guess stop by. It's free.
It's an experience. Something to get the kids out of the car.
Also, I would just like to point out the parking rates here. 0 to 3 hours is free. Okay, great. Over 3 hours is $60. That's outrageous. So, oh, and also lost ticket is $60 too. So don't lose your ticket. As I almost tossed it across the car, but I didn't lose it. But, I mean, I guess that's good. It keeps people passing through, but, and I mean, we got some energy for free, so I guess that is nice too. So, anyway, let's head to the IONNA in Kutztown. Let me get the Android Auto set up, and then we'll get on the road. So here we go. It's not in here as a charging station yet because the station literally opened yesterday. Let me just see actually if it shows. So if I do here, search charging stations. Let's go to the area. Oh, not there. I also don't think it includes IONNA as a supported network in here yet. Not entirely sure. Maybe it will show up. Let's see. Yeah, doesn't seem to show IONNA in here quite yet, which is fine, since it's literally yesterday, so I don't expect it to work perfectly yet. It's estimated an arrival of 22%. We'll see how accurate that is with 48% right now and 59.58 kilowatt hour in the pack. I think I'll throw it into sport mode here to cool down the battery a little bit. I don't think it's going to do a whole lot. So it's on thermal mode is off right now, but that way it will keep it cool. And that way it should charge a little bit better if needed. Because the vehicle doesn't think, or not the vehicle, but Android Auto doesn't think that it's a charging station, it won't do any preconditioning. The trick is to either use sport or tow haul, and then it will cool down the battery, keep it at a lower temperature than it would otherwise. Whereas in normal, it will actually let it get fairly warm before it does any cooling, which normally is better. It's more efficient, but not ideal if you're trying to fast charge as fast as possible. Anyway, let's get on the road.
Take my eye off you, can't take my eye off you. Dim gal, don't got nothing on you, don't got nothing on you. My heart is ready for something I have been had in a long time. True love crime, I hope you know that it may hurt for a while. Let's slow down, slow down. I can see behind that broken smile. You're nice, sweet, smooth, like cocoa bread, cocoa bread. You're nice, sweet, smooth, like cocoa bread, cocoa bread. You're nice, like cocoa, you're nice, like cocoa bread, like cocoa bread. Oh, you're nice, like cocoa, you're nice. Watch a movie right by your side on duty. Not too much or too sweet. Ooh, passion from your truly. Let me know how you feel. Hope I'm not in too deep. Be what Phoebe, we die fever. Won't be alone forever. Get through the storm together.
Well, we have arrived to the IONNA site here at Kutztown Sheets. See 10 stalls, 2 NACs there, and 3 CCS units here. Let's look at our stats here. So we arrived with 23% state of charge, so 1 higher. We've driven 129.5 miles so far today. We've driven 61.5 since Hershey, and 579.4 miles since we left home. Battery is nice and normal temp and everything, 29.36 kilowatt hour in the pack. So let's get out, we'll activate this charger. It's pretty interesting because rather than having it like on that side, they actually kind of built an extra little area here, completely separate for charging. So that's kind of cool. We'll open up the charge port, go, and let's just see what the instructions say. So it looks like they have changed the instructions a bit since I've used these last. So we'll plug in first, and then I'll actually activate with the ChargePoint app. I like to keep it all kind of consolidated from a billing perspective, so ChargePoint's pretty good for that. It's always a little awkward when you're right in front and you just need to extend it, so there we have that. So checking for plug-in charge auto pay, that's a really good experience. So I'll go into the ChargePoint app. So now it's saying pay by card or app. This is actually really good. So it checked if you have plug-in charge or auto charge or anything. So let's go into the ChargePoint app. Disturb. And I have filters set right now for IONNA and Mercedes chargers to be on. And we are on, let's see, we're on 3B. So let's find that here in this list. Let's see. This is being a little wonky. Well, let's just use credit card actually. So I will do this here. I don't know why the ChargePoint app was being strange. I could also use the Ford app if I wanted to. So approved. Authenticating, preparing to charge. And just like that, now charging. So we'll hit charging detail here. You can see current, so it's ramping up. We should get full 500 amps. Back. Then you can see here, so that's the current rate, that's the peak rate of the session, and then you can see current and voltage as well. I'm going to record my iPad screen here. And of course, no adapter needed here because we're charging on CCS. And it's about 81 degrees outside, not too sunny or anything, so we should get pretty good thermal performance. So we'll charge up here, probably to 80%, and then we'll head over to Tom's. We're at 68%, or actually no, that's the actual, 72 displayed. Still doing 115 kilowatt. We're up to 94.55 kilowatt hour added. Did swap cables, and we're just doing a nice and flat 121 kilowatt. Solid. Let me go inside, grab a snack or something. It would be nice if there was like a little walkway, or I guess there is a walkway all the way over there, but I don't know if, I feel like people wouldn't notice that, so maybe signage or something, I don't know, but I'll just walk here and grab a snack or something in Sheets. Well, we've charged to 83% state of charge while we were inside. So let me stop charging here. There we go, stopping. There we go, please unplug. That was a $35 charge. We'll shut this. And I want to grab a picture of this charging curve. Go. And cost detail. There you go. So let's get on the road. So we've got about an hour and 20 minutes or so once we make the stop for Bethany for her Dunkin' Donuts down the street. We'll get to Tom's with 57%, and we'll be there about 3:45. So let's get on the road. Well, we were just driving in traffic and I got a cruise control fault on the comma, which like every once in a while it'll give an erroneous error, which is kind of expected. It's still kind of sort of beta software, so whatever. I didn't think much of it. And then I got a one pedal fault, which again, the comma can every once in a while cause some erroneous errors that I've just kind of gotten used to at this point. But then I lost my one pedal driving and we were driving in very slow traffic, so I didn't notice it at first, but my acceleration pedal stopped working completely. Like I would floor it, or like I didn't try flooring it, but like I gave it throttle and it did nothing. It was creeping forward and I could still brake, of course. I'm just showing you the pedal, I don't know why. But it would just kind of creep basically and slowly accelerate. I got up to like 25 miles an hour. So luckily, we were right by this exit, probably a quarter mile up. I was able to get past the police cars that were stopped for whatever accident and such that were there. And then I just exited, and now I'm pulled over here. So we are showing 53% available battery power, which is concerning considering we have 63% state of charge. We also have a wrench icon down there, but we don't have a check engine light. I think this has a check engine light in addition to the wrench light, since that's a federally mandated light. But I just had Car Scanner pull the codes, and we have a ton of stuff in here. I guess a lot of these are archived. See if I can filter those out somehow. Because like faults can happen for a lot of different things. So here, I'll hide archive. So here are the current ones. So I don't know what some of these are. So regenerative braking disabled. I don't know why. Performance problem. Engine control unit has failed. So I'm going to save these faults. Yeah, some of these are whatever, like auto lamp delay stuff. A lot of them do not matter at all. Regenerative braking disabled. So I'll export these. Maybe. And I'll just save the files. Okay, so I saved those. Let's just restart the truck, see what happens. I'll turn it off and hopefully it turns back on. I'll put the comma back up. Maybe. Okay, so I'll open the door here. I'll unbuckle. Alright. So that should trigger a full cycle. Both screens are off. Let's turn the truck back on. Service vehicle soon. That's not good. So comma is booted back up. I guess I didn't press it fully. I'm not sure what happened there. So let me see if I have, so I have one pedal driving apparently. We still have a wrench icon. So accelerator pedal works again. Let's just read the faults. Invalid data received from hybrid powertrain control module. I don't know why that wrench icon is still there. So we're scanning all the different modules. And then I will just do a clear just to see what happens. A lot of modules to scan, 38 of them. I guess I could have done a more targeted scan, but it never hurts to have all the modules scanned. So let's clear. Clear found DTCs, okay. Let's see if we get any warnings or anything. Okay, cleared. And now we no longer have a wrench icon. Well, we do now. Why do we have a service vehicle soon? I guess let's just drive a little bit and see what happens. It wants us to do this kind of loop thing to get back to the main route, but I guess I can just turn around and go that way. We'll be on kind of side roads for a bit anyway, so at least it won't be on the interstate. If something does happen, I can just pull over to the shoulder. So let's hope for the best, I guess. All right, so I'll flip around here. We're in drive. Pedal feels fine. There's no traffic around here. We still have the wrench icon. I'm not sure why. Also, when we get to Tom's in 20 minutes, I'll just let it sit for a moment with the key and everything out. Let's get the dashboard back up. Seems fine now, I guess, which is almost more concerning that it just like randomly decided to fault. Not entirely sure why. Like, full power, it seems fine. Well, I guess we'll just drive and I'll update you guys if anything changes, but hopefully that wrench icon goes away. Otherwise...
Sorry, my thumb hit it.
When?
You said otherwise, and then my thumb hit.
No. Well, we made it to the famous State of Charge garage. Equinox EV, Rivian R1S, F150 Lightning. Unfortunately, I lost the trip when I did the power cycle on the truck, but 13.5 miles since we stopped, and we're at 58% state of charge, so higher than expected.
Gotta put it in the video.
Well, we've been hanging out here at the State of Charge garage. Tom made us a pizza. It was fantastic. And we've been charging up the Lightning, added 20 plus kilowatt hour at this point off of the Ford Charge Station Pro, charging at 80 amps. You can see the studio. I will say it's smaller than you think. In videos, it looks huge, but it's not that big. But I mean, Lightning still fits. Yeah, Lightning fits, which is something to say. And the wall of adapters, it makes my adapter collection look small, which is quite something because I have a lot of adapters. And then the wall of chargers, the famous wall of chargers. Here we have the famous wall. See how many chargers you can recognize here? Some of these I've never even heard of, which is saying something. But there are some very famous, obviously, ones in here that are more common than others. And some that are more reliable than others as well.
There's more in here. Old school Clipper Creek.
Very few will recognize that. Yeah. Sometimes these actually came with a Roadster connector.
Yes, and the Mini E connector. That we had a proprietary connector for the Mini E. That's what they first had. I might have more in here too.
Wow.
Jeez.
Oh, and even like a coil up one. Oh,
yeah,
from
that's
Evo
like
Reel.
a retractor system for your wall. So,
man, just all the things.
I got a few in here. A few adapters, a few chargers. So, I try to keep myself busy with them.
And who can name what those are? Let me show you guys closer. There's something electrical related. I'll give you that hint. Well, there we have it. Thanks for toasting us, Tom.
Hey, listen, I'm so happy you're able to stop by on your long road trip from North Carolina up to Maine. So,
yes,
when I saw your route, I was like, wait a minute, you're going to be passing through New Jersey. You got to stop over. So
yes,
I'm glad you're able to stop over.
Yeah, and I'm glad we had time to make the stop this time. We've passed by pretty close before, but we didn't have the time to stop. So glad it all worked out.
And you got a pizza out of it.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
It's been a while since I've had a fresh made pizza,
Yeah.
and especially from Tom, the man himself. So.
Yeah, great to have you.
Yes.
All right. Let's hit the road. Well, we're charged up to 77%, thanks to Tom. We charged 20-something%. We have 96 kilowatt hour in the pack, and we are going to head roughly towards Albany. We haven't figured out where we're staying tonight, but let's see how far that is. 156 miles away, so not too bad. We should be able to make it there without even charging, but we'll probably charge somewhere along the way unless we find a hotel that seems promising. So we'll just head this general direction. Bethany, what'd you think of Tom's wall of chargers in his garage? Do you approve of my goals?
It's very cool.
Yes.
I mean, it's definitely something I think you aspire to.
Yes. I think I do it in a different manner than he does, as far as like all the tech gadgets and charger gadgets.
Yeah, I think you're much more data driven.
I'm also more on the go driven versus like home stuff.
That's true.
I don't really do residential chargers. I do fast chargers.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
So everyone has their niche. Tom has his niche of home charging, which is awesome.
Impressive.
Yes. He is the expert on home charging.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And very nice.
Yes, Tom's a great guy. So. Let's get on the road. It seems like we no longer have any faults, which is good to see. So hopefully it stays that way for the rest of our trip. Well, we just pulled off the New York Thruway in Slotsburg, New York. We just crossed from New Jersey to New York. We're at an Apple Green Service Plaza here with a bunch of different amenities. I don't see any charging here, but that's fine. We don't need to charge. And odd issue. So you can see we've driven 45.9 miles at 2 miles per kilowatt hour since we left Tom's. And then you go to these other trips and 1.2 miles per kilowatt hour for all day driving today at 246 miles and 1.4 for the last 696 miles since we left home. Those are definitely not correct. I'm not sure why those have suddenly dropped so significantly. Those should both be 2 miles per kilowatt hour, roughly. Maybe 1.9, 1.8, but 2-ish. So not really sure what happened there. I guess I'll turn the truck off when we go inside, and I'll see if they fix themselves. But we mostly stopped just to figure out our lives. So 74 kilowatt hour in the pack. And we're going to grab some dinner maybe at Chick-fil-A or something, because the princess loves Chick-fil-A.
Maybe. There's Chick-fil-A, there's Shake Shack, there's Panda Express.
And there's lots of options. So we'll do one of those. What?
I don't know what they want.
Okay. And then I also need to figure out where we're going to stay tonight, since I've not booked a hotel yet. So we're headed roughly towards Albany, but I'm not really sure where we'll end up. And then tomorrow I think we're going to be Portsmouth-ish area, stay at one of your friends' houses, and then go from there up to Maine. Well, we got Chick-fil-A. We did not eat it yet. I also booked a hotel. Let's see if our trips fixed themselves. Truck is back on, and they appear not to have fixed themselves. So I guess I'll probably just run these through the end of the day, and then I'll probably reset both of them in the morning, just so that way we at least have clean data going forward. I don't know. Let me get our hotel put into the nav, and then I'll show you guys. Well, I've got the nav set. It wants us to stop for 16 minutes. I'm going to stop that. We'll arrive with apparently 7%. There's a charger just up the road, 4 miles north. I'm not that confident in the charging working at this hotel, but I guess we'll see. Worst case, we go to the place up the street, but 7% is fine. Let's get going. Showing will arrive with 7% at 9:48 p.m. Well, we were able to check the live status of the hotel charging since they're ChargePoint units, and they show whether they're in use or not. And unfortunately, both of them were in use. So we are headed to the Latham, New York Tesla Supercharger. It looks like it has version 4 posts, so it's also 64 degrees outside, and my adapters are in the freezer. So we should get actually a really good charging session since it's all cold. Which should be good. We're going to arrive there with 4% apparently, and we'll charge just enough to make it to the Mercedes chargers in Lee, Massachusetts tomorrow when we start heading east, because tomorrow we're staying a bit outside of Portsmouth, New Hampshire at one of Bethany's friends. So we have a fairly free day tomorrow. I don't think, what was it, raw time on maps to cover?
3 to 4 hours-ish.
Okay. So we have plenty of free time tomorrow. We'll probably mosey our way on over there. We've got some errands to run too. We need to do some Amazon returns at Whole Foods and such. So we'll see what we end up doing tomorrow, but I'm just going to top off, I don't know, probably 50% or something tonight. And then we'll continue on. I think it's only 50 miles to Lee, Massachusetts, so we don't need a ton of charge. Unfortunately, we're not getting there after 11 p.m. when it goes into the cheaper overnight time of use rate. We're only getting there at 9:48 p.m. So that's a bit of a shame. It goes down to half the price. And maybe we'll get lucky and the charger at the hotel will open, but at 9:38 at night, I kind of doubt it. I feel like whatever cars are there will probably be there when we get there. So, see you guys at the charger in about 10 minutes. Well, we just made it. We're at this site with version 4 posts, version 3 cabinets, as is typical these days. We are at a whopping 5% state of charge. And I'll go ahead and reset trip 1 when we leave, but you can see that increased a little bit, 1.4 and then 1.5. But we drove 121.5 miles since we were at the rest stop in New York. We have 8.89 kilowatt hour in the pack, and pack is nice and warm. DC pin temps are fairly cool, as you can see there. Ambient temps are low as well. So things should go well. Bethany is cranking her heater here, which is why the heater is coming on. Let's set that to 70. Okay, and let's get plugged in. I've got my frozen adapter there, and we're on 1A, I think. You can also see there how it changes pricing at 11 p.m. I guess it's not as big of a difference as I thought it goes from 40 cents kilowatt hour to 30, but still, gotta save where you can. Let's see what stall we're on. I'm assuming it's 1A, but who really knows? Tesla doesn't always name their things in a conventional manner. 1A, which is all the way down there, and definitely not the easiest to see. So I wish Tesla would put it a little higher up, make it a lot easier to see. That would be appreciated. And this cable should reach all the way over here on the proper stall. So let's start this 1A. Oh, they've got 3 stalls down. That's crazy. So put that in my pocket. I'm actually slightly curious if this magic dock works, if there is one. There is a magic dock here. There's also payment terminals that are not on. Yeah, no functioning magic dock as far as I can tell. But also could be because I activated it prior. Adapters are so freaking awkward to use. So I just put that on by having it under my armpit. Now I gotta hold that cable hole assembly. And here we go, we'll plug it in. Station is activated already. There we go. Should be charging here in a moment. DC pin temps are coming down because we have the frozen adapter. And there we go, power's flowing. Should ramp up. Not sure why it's only offering us 439 amps. That's annoying. I want 500 amps, not 439.4. Maybe that Model Y is pulling a fair bit of power. Let's see what happens as we approach that 439 amps. So I think we probably have that coming in now, but we're already derated. And we are pulling the max current from the charger, which is 147 kilowatts. I am not a fan here, so... Now the question is, do I stop it? And then move down to the other stall. If I do, I'll do it at 10%, I guess. So it's showing 2B, 2C, 2D down. So I guess 2A is up. So if anything, I would move down there because at least that's a different cabinet. It shouldn't matter because these should be linked, but not entirely sure. Maybe there is not a DC bus between them. That would be annoying if that was the case. So let me just set my charge limit to a whopping 10%, and then I'll move down to 2A. So set your charge limit. Save setting. There we go. So when we get to 10%, I'll move over to the stall down there, which I guess is the handicap stall, but it's also 10 o'clock at night, so I'm not too concerned. And we'll be in the car, or in the truck anyway. And we're at 10%. It should complete here in just a second. There we go. Let's move stalls and try again. All right, station activated. I grabbed my Ford adapter here so that we have a fresh, cold adapter. Not that I think it makes a huge difference considering the length of time we were charging. We're on 2A now. So I really don't understand why those other ones are down, but whatever. So adapter inserted. This is the Electron Ford Brendan adapter, as you can see there, also frozen. So we got blue flashing, which is promising. And you're seeing 500 amps available, 270. What the heck? Why are these stations broken? What the actual heck? That's even worse. That's not good. I don't like that. So here we're getting a whopping 90 kilowatts. This is even worse. Well, the charging station just faulted? What the actual heck? So it just stopped charging. I guess I'll move stalls again. This is getting really annoying, actually. So grab my adapter. I'll set that there for a second. And all of those are showing down, so I'm not even going to try those because I can't activate them. So I guess I'll move back over there to 2C, I guess, and try that one and see if it works and it has better power. There's now another Model Y here, so let's turn the truck back on. This is very annoying at 10 o'clock at night. Well, annoying in general, but especially at 10 o'clock at night. There's a woman walking, that's why I'm waiting. That Model Y is low state of charge, I can tell by the flashing light, so we're probably not going to get very good power if we're actually sharing power here on this site, which we probably are. Or at least we're sharing on this cabinet. I don't know if this site is actually linked on these cabinets. Normally they are, but there's some weird behavior going on here that I can't quite tell if it's set up normally or not. So let me try activating this one. This one's 2C. And we'll try again, I guess. What the heck? All right, so this one's now offering 500 amps, 165 kilowatt, and by 2C I meant 1C. So let's see if we actually get good power here, or if this immediately derates also. That's the best result we've gotten so far. And that's ramping up as the pack voltage is coming up, so that should, in theory, we'll get full power on this stall. Let's see if that turns into reality. Well, I looked, and it's a whopping 52 miles to the Mercedes chargers in the morning. So we're at 42%, still doing 126 kilowatts. So nice, gentle ramp down with the cooler temperatures, which is definitely appreciated. I just set my charge limit, well, I guess I need to hit save, to 45%. And once we hit that in just a moment, then we will head out. Other Model Y is leaving. Bethany is resting, as you can see in the glass reflection there. She's ready for bed. So we'll head out here in just a moment. Charged up, 58.27 kilowatt hour in the pack, even though we're at 45% state of charge. That's like 60, 70%, or actually more than that. Like 70, 80% in a Model 3 or Model Y. So unplug here. The always awkward having to remove the adapter and then squeeze in front of the station here. Let's see. I can squeeze. Nope, I can't squeeze there because there's a bollard there. So awkward. Shut my charge door. So glad I removed my flap. And put the adapter back in the freezer. for another day. Let's head over to the hotel. It's like 4.5 miles and get some sleep. So there we are. And just for reference, so today we drove from, where did we start? So we were here in Chambersburg. We started in Chambersburg there, and then we went all the way over here-ish. Visited Tom here-ish. And then we went all the way up here. And now we're here in Albany, New York. So let's head over to the hotel in 7 minutes. So we're at the hotel-ish, and that was the charging I was going to use, but it's being used by a Model 3 and a RAV4 plug-in hybrid, which is pretty annoying. Like, I'm all for using public charging with your plug-in hybrid, but not if you're using the last port. Not a fan of that. Like, leave it for the EVs that need it. So there's our hotel, Courtyard by Marriott. I was a little concerned when I saw the Residence Inn part, but I guess it's one of those 2 hotels in one building kind of deals. But there's a Starbucks right there for in the morning, so that's nice. Ooh, new Model Y. They're probably trying to come charge here also, if I had to guess. Or maybe there's literally no other parking left here. That's also entirely possible. It looks quite full, which is also annoying. How is this place so busy? Who's here? So, stats before I forget. 822 miles since home. 371.8 miles today. And 4.2 miles since the charging stop. So, I'm just going to go ahead and reset trip 1 and trip 2, since those are really not relevant stats at this point. And we're gonna go unload our stuff. Bethany will wait there while I move the car. Are you tired? Well, we made it to the room. This is the Courtyard by Marriott in Albany Airport, I think it's called. Let's turn on some lights. This is actually pretty darn nice. It was a very low point redemption, which was nice. What do you think, Bethany? It's quite nice. It would long walk from the elevator, but our room anyway, but that is what it is. Can't really control that. I've got a nice little couch thing that I will not be touching because I don't touch furniture in hotel rooms generally. You can see the Starbucks over there. And yeah, this is another one of those like suburbia America hotel rooms. What?
Set to 64.
That sounds lovely. I would sleep so well.
No.
What would you set it to if I was not here?
Like 73 or 4.
I would set it to probably 68.
That's nice.
What did the princess think of today?
It was fun.
That's it?
Okay.
No more words for me? For the viewers?
Mm-mm.
Please?
Like what?
I don't know. Thoughts on today?
Hershey was fun. Your reaction was funny. Tom was nice. His pizza was good. The last charger was annoying.
Yeah, I wish we could have charged here. Yeah, that's the worst experience I've had at a Tesla charger in, I think, years. So that's definitely not the norm, but still doesn't make it any less annoying. So anyway, see you guys in the morning. I think this is going to be one long road trip video versus the multi-part that I've been doing lately, but we'll see. This might be the end of this video, and then you'll have to subscribe for the next one, but who knows?